Most people walk through life unarmed. They think goodness protects them, that sincerity will be rewarded, that truth wins by itself. But the world doesn't work like that. 4 centuries ago, a Spanish priest named Baltasar Gracián saw through the illusion. He lived among kings, soldiers, and hypocrites, and realized that human society is not a moral order, but a battlefield of appearances. His book, The Art of Worldly Wisdom, it's a survival manual for intelligent souls trapped among fools. Before you can act with power, you must learn to see without distortion. The majority of human errors come not from ignorance, but from illusion. We don't fail because we don't know. We fail because we misread what's right in front of us. People see the world through desire, vanity, fear, or moral fantasy, and call that intuition. The wise detach. They strip away the emotion until only essence remains. They know that clarity is rarer than intelligence and infinitely more valuable. To see things as they are, not as we wish them to be, is the beginning of mastery. Discernment is Gracián's first commandment. It means separating appearance from reality, seeing the hidden motive behind the polished mask. Every person, he says, carries 2 faces, one for the crowd and one for their hunger. The fool judges by surface, the wise study the pattern. Learn to read tone, silence, and timing, for these reveal more than words ever will. Many think they are seeing clearly when they are only looking with emotion. Respect yourself if you want to be respected. Respect is not requested, it's transmitted. It comes from invisible boundaries, from the way you stand, pause, and speak. Those who doubt their worth teach others to doubt it too. The world mirrors the posture of your soul. Move with calm certainty, never apology. The wise don't chase approval, they radiate authority quietly, as if they carried their own gravity. Gracián considered the word no the mark of self-command. Every yes is a transaction, every agreement a piece of yourself given away. Those who can't refuse become slaves to their own kindness. To refuse elegantly is to preserve strength without hostility. Polite firmness creates distance, and distance creates power. He who knows not how to refuse will never know how to rule. Never compete with the desperate. Some people live only to destroy what they envy. Gracián warns, never engage with those who have nothing to lose. They are immune to logic, pain, and consequence. Their chaos contaminates everyone who touches it. Walk away early. You lose nothing by avoiding madness. The true warrior knows that every fight fought out of pride is already lost. Think with the few, speak with the many. Wisdom is currency. Spend it carefully. Gracián advises, share your thoughts with the discerning, not with the crowd. Truth spoken to fools becomes ammunition for mockery. Be profound among the few and clear among the many. The wise learn to adapt their language to the listener, never dumbing down their mind, only disguising its edge. He who knows how to hide depth seems pleasant to all. Keep your intentions obscure. Transparency is a luxury of the powerless. When others know exactly what you want, they can block or manipulate you. Gracián's rule: be legible enough to be trusted, but never so clear that you can be read. Move quietly. Let your goals reveal themselves only through results. Mystery creates leverage, and in a world of spies, the invisible man wins. Avoid victory over your superior. In every hierarchy, ego is the hidden law. To outshine a superior is to plant the seed of resentment. The wise disguise brilliance under modesty until power changes hands. Gracián's psychology is surgical. Let your talent flatter, not threaten. Make your superior feel secure. and he will open doors instead of closing them. He who eclipses the sun will soon be left in the dark. Never exaggerate. Exaggeration weakens credibility. Gracián believed restraint was a mark of high intelligence, to state facts precisely, without drama, so that your words feel carved in stone. The loud exaggerate because they need belief. The wise speak as if truth were self-evident. Say less, mean more. Let silence do half your persuasion. Act as if the world is always watching, because it is. Reputation travels faster than sound. A single careless gesture can undo years of discipline. The wise behave the same in darkness as they do in light. Integrity for Gracián is not moral, it's strategic. He writes that everything is judged by appearance, and what isn't seen is as if it doesn't exist. The goal, then, is not to reject appearance, but to master it. The mask you choose becomes the truth the world believes. These first teachings are not about morality, they are about mental clarity under pressure. Gracián teaches that the wise move like shadows, watching before acting, decoding before trusting, and hiding power until the right moment to reveal it. The fool reacts to the visible, the wise moves by what's invisible. To see without illusion is the first form of freedom and the beginning of every other kind of power. You cannot control people by resistance, only by direction. Influence for him was not noise or dominance, it was precision. It meant bending the will of others without breaking it, turning their desires into bridges toward your goals. Most people try to persuade through argument or emotion. Both are weak. Force provokes resistance. Pressure breeds rebellion. The wise don't push, they pull. They plant ideas so subtly that others defend them as their own. He who cannot rule himself cannot rule others. This is the art of invisible command. To influence, you must first appear harmless. Every strong emotion, eagerness, anger, over-explanation, exposes your center. Gracián says the wise speak after others have emptied themselves. They reveal just enough to hold attention, never enough to be read. In silence, people reveal themselves. In your restraint, they feel seen. Never show your whole soul. It invites contempt or imitation. Mystery amplifies authority. The moment you become predictable, you become forgettable. Gracián saw what modern psychology confirms. People rarely act from logic. They act from vanity. They want to feel clever, moral, superior, admired. The wise use this, never crudely, but with grace. Make others feel intelligent for agreeing with you. Let them taste victory while walking the path you designed. Never confront pride directly, redirect it. Flattery is a dangerous instrument. Use it not to please, but to control. Gracián didn't teach manipulation. He taught navigation. To move a mind, speak to the emotion that already lives there. Every mind has a climate. Some run cold, some burn easily. To influence, you must sense that temperature instantly. Gracián calls this knowing the pulse of every heart. The wise adjust tone and timing to the listener's nature. With the proud, give space. With the insecure, give reassurance. With the powerful, let them believe the idea was theirs. Influence is not domination, it's resonance. You don't change people, you tune them. The truly wise speak the language of those they command. Win without argument. The fool argues to be right, the wise maneuver to be obeyed. Gracián despised debate because it feeds the ego of your opponent. He says, never fight to convince, guide the direction instead. When you argue, you surrender position. When you stay calm, you own the frame. People rarely change from evidence. They change when the cost of resisting you becomes too high. You win not by proving the truth, but by becoming the more stable energy in the room. Silence is the reply that shames the unworthy. Become indispensable. Gracián's most strategic advice: make yourself necessary. Don't demand loyalty, design it. Find what others need: insight, calm, solutions, credibility, and supply it so consistently that they cannot function without it. Dependence is invisible obedience. The weak ask for devotion, the wise make it inevitable. He who holds the key to another's need holds his will. But be subtle. If they realize the dependence, they'll rebel. Your usefulness must feel like coincidence. Control the frame, not the facts. Truth rarely matters, framing does. Whoever defines the context controls the meaning. Gracián saw that people don't live in facts, but in interpretations. If you want to move them, don't argue against their story. Rewrite the story they're in. Make your idea feel aligned with their values, not opposed to them. Shape perception, and action follows automatically. He who defines the terms wins the debate before it begins. The authority of composure. Calmness is magnetic. Gracián teaches that when tempers rise, the man who stays still becomes the axis around which everyone turns. Never let emotion drag you down to the crowd's level. In chaos, your stillness reads as superiority. Power doesn't need to shout, it vibrates at a lower frequency. He who cannot be disturbed governs those who can. This is how true authority feels: quiet, patient, untouchable. Rule yourself to rule others. All of Gracián's influence reduces to one inner command: control yourself absolutely. The man who can master his impulses, silence his ego, and act from clarity instead of reaction commands others without needing to. Self-mastery radiates like gravity. It pulls weaker minds into orbit. He who conquers himself performs the highest conquest. No tricks, no manipulation, no performance can replace this. Influence begins within, the rest is technique. Influence is not charm or dominance, it's the orchestration of energy. You create alignment between your intention and others' desires without ever appearing to try. Your enemies respect you, your allies trust you, the crowd follows without understanding why. He shows that the highest form of control is invisible, and the highest form of persuasion is when others believe they chose it themselves. Move minds as the moon moves tides, silently, irresistibly, from a distance. Gracián lived among men who wore crowns, crosses, and daggers, often at the same time. He saw that the world is not ruled by fairness, but by perception, position, and fear. Goodness is admired only when it's useful. Honesty is celebrated only when it doesn't threaten. The art of power is not about cruelty. It's about survival in an ecosystem of predators, learning how to navigate envy, betrayal, and illusion without losing composure. Gracián doesn't tell you how to dominate others. He teaches how to make domination unnecessary. Power is maintained by silence, destroyed by display. Rule through absence, not presence. Gracián's first secret: distance commands more than proximity. When you're constantly visible, familiarity dissolves reverence. Step back. Make your presence felt through scarcity. Let others feel your absence as pressure, not your words as noise. The crowd loves what it cannot reach. The wise appear rarely but decisively, like a storm that leaves the air changed. Respect grows with distance. Intimacy breeds contempt. Guard your reputation like a kingdom. Gracián warns that every word, every gesture, every association builds or weakens your legend. Craft it deliberately. Be slow to attach your image to others. Avoid gossip, excess, or exposure. not for morality's sake, but for power's. The man whose reputation precedes him walks protected. The man who loses it must fight battles he never chose. A man's worth is the shadow cast by his reputation. Master timing. Never hurry, never stall. Power has rhythm. Gracián says, "Never be the first to rush, nor the last to retreat. Impatience ruins alliances. Hesitation kills opportunity." The wise observe the tempo of the moment and move when others hesitate. Most people act from emotion. Their timing is random. The strategist acts from awareness. His timing feels divine. To control timing is to control perception, to make your moves seem fated, inevitable, meant to be. He who rules time rules men, appear weak to stay safe. Power invites envy. Envy invites betrayal. The wise disguise strength beneath mildness. Gracián's paradox. Sometimes it's safer to seem less intelligent, less ambitious, less dangerous than you are. Appear content. Praise others. Hide your hunger. Let mediocrities feel superior. Their guard will lower. The tallest towers are the first struck by lightning. Camouflage is not cowardice, it's strategy. You don't need to show strength when others already fear it. Understand envy before it destroys you. Envy is the most predictable human emotion and the most denied. Gracián saw it everywhere, hidden behind compliments, alliances, even friendships. The envious cannot tolerate your light. They will praise you publicly and undermine you privately. The cure is moderation of display. Never flaunt what others secretly crave. Let your victories look accidental, not deliberate. Give credit away as armor. Let them underestimate what they owe you. Do not show all your happiness, or you'll never keep it. The wise hide their prosperity as others hide their shame. Cultivate allies, distrust friends. Enemies declare themselves, friends evolve into them. Gracián warns that loyalty fades faster than interest, and that affection without utility dies at the first inconvenience. Treat every alliance as a negotiation. Keep your independence sacred. Share friendship, not control. And when trust becomes dangerous, convert it into distance, not confrontation. Depend on no one so fully that their fall becomes your ruin. Friendship in the court of life is pleasant, but never free. The discipline of composure. Anger is the mark of the ungoverned. The higher you rise, the colder you must become. Gracián teaches that composure is not emotional indifference, it's tactical delay. You don't suppress your feelings, you schedule them. When insulted, appear unmoved. When provoked, stay silent. Your calm will humiliate more deeply than retaliation ever could. He who cannot master his temper cannot master fortune. Rage burns power, composure multiplies it. Withdraw strategically. Every strong player knows when to retreat. Gracián says that withdrawal, when chosen deliberately, increases mystery and power. Step back before others push you. Leave before you're replaced. Disappear on your own terms. It transforms absence into legend. The fool clings until discarded. The wise exits early and is missed. Never end badly what could have ended beautifully. Rule yourself, or be ruled by others. The final law of power returns inward. No empire can be governed by a man at war with himself. The weak seek control externally because they lack it internally. The wise know self-mastery is the only form of power that cannot be taken, only surrendered. Control your impulses, your tongue, your tone, your schedule. You cannot command obedience from others if you're a slave to your own moods. The highest dominion is over oneself. That is where Gracián's philosophy transcends politics. Power is not about others. It's about inner sovereignty. Power for Gracián is not force, it's structure. It's the invisible discipline behind every gesture, every pause, every calculated silence. It's the art of appearing calm in chaos, of maintaining composure among envy, and of mastering reputation like a sculptor of perception. The fool screams to be feared, the wise need only exist to be obeyed. The world bends not to brutality, but to those who seem inevitable. To rule is not to shout louder, it's to stand so still that others align themselves to your stillness. This is the art of power, cold, precise, patient. The invisible empire of self-command. After perception, influence and power, Gracián turns inward. He knew that no amount of cunning or timing can save a man whose inner world is weak. The final enemy is not other people, it's the erosion of the self by vanity, resentment or fatigue. The art of character is not about virtue, it's about structure. It's about building a mind that cannot be manipulated and a soul that cannot be purchased. He calls this the highest prudence to govern the kingdom within. Character is victory made permanent. Build on principle, not mood. Gracián saw that most people are weather, they change with circumstance. The wise are architecture. They are predictable to themselves, even in chaos. He warns, never act from impulse. Mood is the counterfeit of conviction. When anger, lust or pride govern your choices, the enemy doesn't need to defeat you, you defeat yourself. Live by principles so strong that it holds when no one is watching. That is how character becomes armor, not performance. He who depends on his mood will never depend on himself. Cultivate the mask of serenity. Calmness is not passivity, it's a declaration of control. Gracián's ideal man is imperturbable. He bleeds in silence, triumphs without noise, and turns insult into education. People test your reactions to map your weaknesses. Deny them the map. Let your silence force them to invent stories about your strength. Serenity is the face of mastery. A composed mind commands fear without cruelty and respect without effort. Never explain, never complain. Every complaint is a confession of powerlessness. Every explanation is an admission that you seek permission. Gracián's noble soul speaks less and endures more. He knows that those who understand him need no explanation, and those who don't would not believe one. By refusing to justify yourself, you force others to measure you by results. Silence creates gravity, self-pity evaporates it. Let your deeds defend you. Balance greatness with humility. Pride attracts arrows, humility deflects them. Gracián teaches that true superiority doesn't need display. It hides behind courtesy and grace. To bow slightly is not submission, it's camouflage. Humility allows you to move through rooms filled with envy untouched. Be great, but let others call it small. The wise man's humility is a disguise for serenity, not insecurity. Refine your taste, restrain your appetite. Character begins in appetite. What you crave defines the leash that leads you. Gracián insists on refinement, in pleasures, in ambitions, in company. Choose your desires the way an artist chooses colors, few, vivid, intentional. The vulgar chase everything, the wise enjoy selectively. Restraint is the luxury of kings. He saw self-restraint not as deprivation, but as elegance, the ability to possess pleasure without being possessed by it. Transmute pain into power. Gracián never promised a painless life, only a powerful one. Pain is inevitable. Humiliation, betrayal and loss are the taxes of existence. but the wise use them as currency, not excuses. He writes that suffering refines the soul like fire refines iron. It removes the impurities of illusion. The weak collapse under pain, the strong are purified by it. Make misfortune your university and greatness your degree. Pain is the final teacher of prudence. Learn how to grow old gracefully. In one of his last aphorisms, Gracián speaks to the ultimate power, the power to age without bitterness. He saw that men who cling to youth decay in dignity. The wise exchange intensity for clarity, desire for understanding, and the illusion of more time for the perfection of what remains. To grow old well is to win against time by cooperating with it. Age should increase worth as gold is refined by fire. Become your own witness. At the end, Gracián reduces the art of character to one command. Be aware of yourself at all times. The fool lives outward, reacting, proving, defending. The wise live inward, observing, adjusting, mastering. You must become both the actor and the audience of your own life. This inner witness is the only judge whose verdict matters. He who governs himself before judging others is the rarest of men. The highest level of the art of worldly wisdom is not political or social. It's spiritual sovereignty. When perception, influence, and power are mastered, only one battlefield remains, the self. Gracián's ideal is the man of quiet invulnerability, a presence that cannot be seduced by vanity, destroyed by envy, or broken by misfortune. He lives as a citadel among ruins, calm, lucid, and untouchable. To rule the world, rule yourself. To rule yourself, know yourself. To know yourself, observe yourself. That is the end of worldly wisdom, the conquest of one's own nature, and the serenity that follows when nothing external can command you anymore.